What it do, Kaizoku crew? It's your boy Kaizoku Ice, and we are here with another One Piece investing video. So today's video is going to be titled, which booster boxes should you be buying in 2025? So the reason why I'm making this video actually is because I went to a card show here in Houston, if you guys saw my most recent video, and I was talking to a lot of different people, whether they were vendors or just, people that attended the card show to go buy and sell cards. But they were just really interested in the One Piece TCG, and they didn't know where to start. And then I took a step back and I was like, wait a minute, I'm a One Piece YouTuber now. I should totally make a video about this. And that's what we're going to do. So before I get into any of that though, we'll be doing the giveaway for the Koala, the Dawn, and the Usopp at the end of this video, so please stay tuned for that. And now, let me go open my Excel sheet, guys. Yo, peep the Excel sheet. Can I please get a little like, comment, and maybe a small subscribe also for this Excel sheet? Because guys, this low-key took a lot of time. I was in the lab on Sunday, man, and I went ham, and I hopefully got all the information that you guys might need to make an educated decision on which box you would like to buy. So there's a lot of different things here, and I'm not really going to go into every single set. I highlighted the cells here that I was basically wanting to really talk about, because I think that they're very important metric points. But basically the way I structured this Excel sheet, I have the box price, so how much it costs to get in for that set for one box, the top value or the total value of the top 10 cards. This basically just serves as a metric, so it's more for you guys to see oh, maybe this set has more expensive cards than another, and that kind of will show you if you're a gambler like myself, oh, I want to go for the set that has potential to make in the top 10 cards $7,000. That's a lot of money as compared to a set like this, Two Legends. The top 10 cards are only $900, right? So that's just a little fun metric I add there. Total value of alt art leaders, total value of all of the alt arts combined, so that's not just the top 10, that's literally every single hit that you might have in the set. Most expensive card, cheapest alt art, and then total value of your best box, your worst box, a ratio of the best box and the worst box, and then a safety rating. This is a unbiased rating that I assigned to each of the boxes based off of all of the metrics I had mentioned previously. And then I have the Kaizoku Ice final rating. This is a bias because it's coming from me and very subjective point of view on the box. Once again, it's coming from me, so there will be some bias towards it, but also at the same time, I am coming at it also from all of my experiences, so you could call that a educational background. And I like to say I'm not just coming at it from a hype angle. I'm also considering all of the different factors, whether it's the scarcity of the box, how collectible I think will be in the future, what it's worth right now, just all of that combined. So with all of that being said, let's just go real quick and take a look at some of the sets. So for example, for Romance Dawn, right? This is a set that I actually don't really recommend for collectors to open. Sorry, for new players that are getting into the TCG to open at all. I think it's a really great set to buy if you're a collector, but I don't think you're going to get too much money back, especially because to get into that box, it costs $376 for the eroded version and $1,300 for the pre-eroded version. And to me, that's a little bit hefty, especially because the price of the Shanks, so the most expensive card right in that set is the manga Shanks. It's only $830. Let me just, right here. The Shanks, so I basically just averaged between what it's listed for right now and then the market price of $870, so around $830. This card at one point was going for about, okay, we're still gathering price data, so this isn't accurate, but based off my experience since, being in the card game since 2022, I think this card peaked raw at about almost $1,500. And in a BGS 10, it was going for about $3,000. That has went down quite significantly, and I think you can get this card in a PSA 10 for in between $1,200 to $1,500. But once again, if you're looking at the sheet, if we're getting in at $376 and the most expensive car is only $830, or I say only, but it's $830. That is, if you get your best box, and let me take a step back. The best box value here is basically the manga price plus the value of the second most expensive card. Let me press escape there. So if you're taking a ratio of the best box versus the what it costs to get into the box, it's only a 2.73x, which is pretty good. But once again, you have to factor that you're not always going to get the best box, right? If anything, on average, you're probably going to get significantly less than your peak best box price. So in reality, you're probably gonna make less than what you got in for, or maybe just break even. So if you're looking at some of the other boxes here, we're looking at a lot better best box ratios across the board. So basically, I think Romance Dawn is a great set if you're a collector and keeping it on ice, for the next 5 to 10 years, because this is your base set booster for if you're comparing to Pokemon. This is like your Legend of Blue Eyes if you're comparing to Yu-Gi-Oh! This set is going to do very well over the test of time, but as of right now in 2025, if you're here to rip packs, do not buy this set at all. But if you're keeping it on ice, it's a good buy, right? Now, I think I'm gonna skip over 2 through 4 here because let me just give you my quick opinion on 2 through 4. They are great sets, and similar to OP1, they're going to do very well over the test of time because these sets are actually done being printed. Bandai is not printing any more copies of the set to my knowledge. So over time, this set's going to become more sought after for all collectors because, they're just going to be more scarce and you won't be able to find them as much in the wild as compared to something like OP10 and OP9. I'm pretty sure they're going to be printing the newest sets for the next year, basically. So these boxes right now are, they're a little bit more expensive than the boxes that can get as of today, April 2025. But once again, they have some great hits, like OP2 has the manga ace, OP3 has the Soga King, which is only actually about $360. So it doesn't have the base chase. It doesn't have the best chase card, and it's at $175 for one box. So it's not like the best. It does have some of the wanted SPs, which actually are going for a lot more now. I'll probably put some screenshots here, but I don't love OP3, and that's actually why I gave it my Kaizoku Ice Final rating of 7. But yeah, just moving right along, OP4 is also a really great set. It's one of the cheaper ones in between OP1 and OP5. It's only $150. The most expensive cards, the Sabo, is only going for $390, but it has some SPs similar to OP3 that go for a lot, like the Boa SP in particular is going for a lot of money right now. So that's basically my opinion on OP1 to 4, and now let's get into the heavy hitters. So OP5, Awakening of the New Era. This is a very interesting set to me. I have it as my Kaizoku Ice Final rating of 1, but the safety rating is a 10. And the reason why is because, right, the most expensive card that you can get is the Gear 5 Luffy, which is amazing. $2,900, bro. Almost 3 bands. Yo, that's a lot of money, right? But on the contrary, man, the cheapest alt art in that set is the Secret Rare Kaido, and it's going for I think 70 cents to $1 right now. And then the cheapest alt art, I believe, is the Sabo or X-Drake, which is going for $1.50. So if you look here, my worst box sell right here, and worst box is not including all of the super rares that you might get, and I do know that some super rares sell for even more than secret rares and alternate arts, but for the sake of this Excel sheet, I only included the alternate arts for this value here. But let's say, for example, you hit the Kaido secret rare and the X-Drake or Sabo alternate art, you only got about $3 back in value, and that is disgusting. If you're putting in $200 and you're only getting $3 back, that's basically like a 100% loss. And you can see here in my ratio versus in my ratio of the worst box here, man, bro, you are at like 0.01 return, bro. That is pretty bad. However, you see here for your ratio of the best box, you're getting 15 times your money, right? So 200, you turn $200 into $3,000. That is pretty dang good, and that's actually why I have that as my Kaizoku Ice final rating of 1, because I actually think that OP5 is going to be the best set to have and the best set to collect, not to rip, the best set to collect over the next 5 to 10 years, because it does have the most sought after card, in my opinion, of the entire set, Gear 5 Luffy. But then it also has the oldest signed Luffy, which, dude, I actually think that card is extremely undervalued. Not financial advice, but man, I really think that that card should be a lot higher than what it actually is, because it literally has oldest signature. I mean, if you compare that to Weiss Schwartz cards, if you guys are familiar with that card game, the cards that, have the gold foiled signature on it go for a lot of money. So I think that this is a set that is, in my opinion, it is very risky, as you can see with my safety rating of 10. But I personally love that set, and I will, probably buy some boxes of that in the future just to keep on ice, and just have in a sealed collection. Now, guys, OP6 Wings of the Captain. I need everyone to stop what they're doing. If you're just having this video on play and not paying attention, whether you're on a run or, you're just like at work listening to this, literally focus right now, because guys, this is what we care about the most. This set right here is the absolute best value, and I was quite shocked when I was doing my research here to see why it's the best value. So, first thing, highlighted cell right here, $135. That is one of the cheaper booster boxes, and this set is a year old. I know that they're still printing some of the set in, for example, the illustration boxes, but $135 for a booster box, where this next part, guys, the most expensive card is $830, right? If we're comparing that here to Romance Dawn, the Shanks manga and the Zoro manga are essentially the same price, but to get into Romance Dawn, it costs 3 times more than it costs to get into OP6, right? $376 versus $135. Let's take a look real quick. I want to show you guys this because I was so stunned by this number right here. The Zoro manga rare, right? Let's just take a look at it on a graphical perspective. Oh wow, I'm quite shocked it was actually at almost $1,500 on release. That seems quite high, but also it was very euphoric around this time, so it makes sense why it went down here. But as you guys can see here, it's kind of going up ever so slightly, and I think it's going to keep going up. Let's take a look here. Yeah, so near mint foil going for around $830. Let's just take a look at the most recent sold. I think it's this one right here. Yeah, dude. Literally today, one sold for $830. Yo, check this out. A lightly played foil, so literally not even mint condition, sold for $825. I'm actually so stunned by that. Guys, Kaizoku crew, TCG community, bro, what are we doing paying $825 for a played card, bro? Yo, I don't know what's going on there, but guys, as you can see here, man, Zoro manga, $830. Shanks manga for a near mint foil, $830. Literally the same price, guys. And it costs 3 times more, as you can see in this chart. It costs 3 times more to get into Romance Dawn than it does to get into Wings of the Captain. Guys, that's just one thing, guys. The next thing I'm about to say is another reason why, guys, if you guys don't buy a box of OP6 right now, I don't even know what else to tell you guys. Like, I actually fail you guys as Kaizoku Ice TCG, man. Like, oh my goodness. Okay, so the next thing, guys, the worst box is actually, if you compare all the numbers right here, right, $35 you get for your worst box, right? That's significantly higher than any of the other boxes here. And the reason why actually is because, right, that was, I don't know if I mentioned this before, but in your worst box, you're expecting to get 1 alternate art and 1 secret rare, right? So in OP6, the secret rare actually is quite expensive. The cheapest secret rare here is the Sanji. It's going for about $26, and if you get the Zoro, it's about $31, right? And then I think the cheapest alternate art here is, let's just take a look. The cheapest alternate art is the Aramaki, going for about $3. So if you add the Sanji and the Aramaki, that's about like $30, right? So if you, let's say your absolute worst box, you are only losing like you're only losing 3/4 of your investment. Compare that to any of the other sets here, and you can see the ratio of the best box, or you can see the ratio of the worst boxes here. There's nothing that is giving you this good of a percentage back than compared to OP06 Wings of the Captain, guys. So for the simple fact that you can hit a manga Zoro that costs $830 for only getting into the box for $135, and then your worst box is only $35, so you're only losing like $100 compared to, let's see, for example, OP5, if you put in $200, you only get $3 back. Guys, to me, that is why, objectively, this is the safest and best box to buy, whether it's to rip or to collect, because I think, once again, Zoro is one of the most popular characters. You're comparing that to one of the other mangas like Asabo, Zoro clear Asabo. Compare that to Soga King, Zoro clear Soga King. Compare that to Rayleigh, of course, Zoro clears that. This, and clearly, he even is low-key clearing Shanks right now. I'm not sure it's because there's another Shanks that was printed in OP9. I don't know. But guys, this is the set to own. OP6, you heard it from Kaizoku Ice here. Buy your OP6, whether it's to hold, rip, just get it, okay? Alright, now that I'm done with that, honestly, there's not too much else to talk about here. OP7, nothing really stands out. It's still a pretty cheap box, and you can get the Boa manga, so, not bad. And my ratings for it are just, pretty subpar there. For 2 Legends, I highlight this box because, as you can see, the total value of the top 10 cards is the lowest compared to all of the other sets. So what that means, right, is that if you're opening this set, don't expect to make too much from it. Just open it for the straight love of the game. If you're trying to master the set, if you happen to love Rayleigh, perfect set for you. Not for me though. I don't love Rayleigh like that. You guys might though. Anyways, OP9 here. Once again, this is like a no-brainer, similar to OP05 and OP01. This is a banger set because it is the holiday set. If you guys aren't familiar with, the concept of that, basically, whether it's Pokemon or One Piece, those trading card games release a set in November, December time, so, Christmas, holiday time, and that is usually considered the best set of that year. So, actually, for this year, 2025, OP13, Inherited Will, is going to have apparently another Roger. It might even have, actually, almost spoiled something there, but it's going to have a lot of really good cards, and I personally, not financial advice, I would save as much money as you can for OP13 in November, December of this year, because that set is going to be an absolute banger. It even has the SP Gold and Silver Luffy that's currently going in Japan for about $2,000. I'll post a picture here. Insane card. So, right. Anyways, OP9, once again, a great set to have. I have it as number 2 in my Kaizoku Ice final rating because it is another anniversary set, and you can get the Goldie Roger Chase card, which goes for $3,300. Once again, if you're a gambling guy like me, this is a set you want to get because you can get the Goldie Roger, which is $3,300. But you can also get, let's take a look. You can also get the other mangas like the Luffy manga, $900. Teach manga, $760. Shanks, $650. Buggy, $300, but whatever. And you get all the other SPs, right? Nami, Boa Hancock SP, Zoro SP, the Wanted posters. Like, this low-key might be the best set ever made, but this actually might be my bias speaking, but I think OP5 is just better just because I think Gear 5 Luffy is better than Gold Roger manga. We can argue in the chat about that, but yeah. And then lastly, OP10, I actually don't have much of an opinion about this at all because it is the newest set, and I actually don't like it at all. But if you're a fan of a second law manga or the Usohachi or just anything in general, there, I guess this is the set to own. But as you can see in my Kaizoku Ice final rating, I have it at a 10, so the absolute worst out of all of them. So yeah, but basically, guys, if you can see in my final ranking, I have OP5 as number 1, then OP9 and OP1 as 2 and 3, and then OP6 as 4, and then 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Personally, once again, if I were you guys, if you are, getting into the trading card game and you just want to build your collection, rip packs, hopefully get some good hits, get OP6, please. It's great value and you can actually make some good money on it because some of those secret rares like the Sanji and the Zoro are still playable in decks today, and that's why those secret rares are so expensive, and you can get the Zoro manga. If you're coming at it from a collector perspective, like myself, I am solely focusing on 1, 5, and 9, maybe a little bit of 2 because there are some pre-erotic cards in 2, and 3 is starting to get a little bit more collectible just because it has the first instances of the wanted posters. But yeah, basically, a moral of this video is get your OP6 for sure. Get your OP6 and then get OP1, 5, and 9, and then low-key, just like forget the rest. If you can get any of these boxes for retail, instant buy, like literally instant buy, because you're not going to lose any money on it, hopefully. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I hope this was very insightful. Please give a thumbs up for the Excel here, guys. Like this took some time, man. Like I was in the lab typing, copying and pasting from TCG Player, and also like I should have probably said this at the very beginning of the video, but all of these numbers came from TCG Player here, so please take everything I said with a grain of salt. Once again, not financial advice, but yeah, everything came from here. So if these numbers are wrong or, whatever, then these numbers will be wrong here too. But for the most part, I think TCG Player gives a pretty good, accurate number on, what a card is valued at. So yeah, thank you everybody for watching. And I guess, yeah, now we can go right into the giveaway. So, all right, guys, I'm low-key tired of yapping, so I'm actually only going to draw one name because it's already pretty late. It's a Monday. I haven't gotten too much sleep the past couple of days. But anyways, here we go. We're posting the link here. Filter duplicate users. Let us solve the sum. 16. Quick math. Unique comments 25. Okay, so literally, what was that? A 4% chance at winning these 3 cards right here. So who is going to be the lucky winner to win right off the bat? We're doing one time. Let's get it. Can we get some luck in the chat? The winner is JBY217. Actually, great guy. You always be commenting on the video, so I'm glad that you won something here. Shout out you. And please DM me on Instagram. You already know the drill. So anyways, thank you everybody for, the support. As always, I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. If you stay to the very end of this video, shout out you. Another giveaway coming soon because we are hitting 300 subscribers extremely soon. I actually think I might have hit it already. But anyways, guys, we are slowly climbing up, guys. The Kaizoku crew, we stay active. We got motion. We are here to stay. So thank you everybody for your support, and I'll catch y'all on the next video.